cut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars, should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
To the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know where we at with it. Mike on deck in the building. Salute WCS in the chat. Salute to you, brother. Andrew Charles on deck. I see you. Salute WCS. Salute my brother. Big Blunts and Boxing. The GOAT is on deck in the building. What's good with you, man? So this weekend, you already know what it is, man. We have a heavy showcase. Once again, this is a showcase. I repeat, this is a weekend boxing showcase. We have Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, going in there against Joseph Parker. Both of these guys are former heavyweight world champions. Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wallin. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get back to them. Dimitri Bivol against Lyndon Arthur. This is a weekend showcase. Oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? Jarrell Miller's going to have to back up. You know what I'm saying? All that talk he had against Daniel Dubois. He's going to have to back it up. We got Philippe Hrgovic and Demori. Jesus Christ, man. This whole entire card, if you don't invest a little bit to purchase the fight card, you're going to miss out, in my opinion. You know, this is going on in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and they have multiple promoters that's attached to this, with the likes of Bob Arum, Top Rank, Eddie Hearn, Demetrius Salita, Sutherland, Steinforth, Frank Warren, and like I said before, one that you don't see in there is freaking PBC. But this is a huge card going down on the 23rd of December, which is this weekend. We are at the 21st as we speak, man. This is going to be incredible. I mean, this is going to be something for the ages, and it's going to be some knockouts. All right? It's going to be some knockouts. So let me go through. We have a total of 8. You know what I'm saying? 8 fights on the card. We have a total of 8 fights on the card. And I'm going to predict 1, 2, 3, 4, possible 5 of the 8 will be stoppages. I would say 4 for certain is going to be stoppages. I'll get back to them a little bit later. Let's get to some of these freaking thumbnails that I want to talk about. Yes, Day of Reckoning face-off with Joshua. We're going to get back to what I felt and what I thought about the face-offs. You know what I'm saying? We're going to knock this out real quick. Just to remind y'all, you know what I'm saying, of some tweets that was already out there. All right? And it's going to, the reason why I threw up them Crawford tweets first is that it's another tweet from the one and only Rick Glaser. Solid rumors of Boots Ennis fighting 40-year-old Robert Guerrero. Next. You can make this shit up. You can't make it up. This would be horrible, gross mismatch. The outlet changed from Showtime to Amazon, but it looks like it's still the same crap from PBC. Now, let me show you why I always say what I want to say. Heavy is the head who wears the crown. You know what I'm saying? For me to basically, now we don't know if this is absolutely certain official. I hope that it isn't, because I would hope that that particular person will lens the moment and kind of give his explanation as to why Boots Ennis, as young as he is, would have a very small selection of the basket to choose Robert Guerrero, all because he just came off from defeating a brother and Andre Berto. Look, I'm gonna call Wolf on this. I'm gonna call Wolf on this mug. I'm just gonna say somebody was howling a little bit too loud, and somebody heard them, and that's it. I'm gonna call Wolf on this, because there's no way this young lion is trying to make himself one of the top tier athletes who just received the IBF via FedEx delivery, no signature needed. You would be fighting Robert Guerrero. Say it ain't so. No. Hell no. Hell to the no. No. Tell me this ain't true. Tell me that I'm tripping. Real talk. Somebody tell me. Is Rick Glaser, is he on to something? You know what I'm saying? He has several decades in the sport. Jerron Ennis 31-0, 28 knockouts. Please don't let this rumor be true that you may be potentially fighting Robert Guerrero. This is not a good look, man. I would rather you fight Blair Flair. I would rather you fight Stanthionis, Barrios. The two fighters that you called out first, Barrios and Stanthionis. I'd rather you see you fight those. Man, come on. Not the Ghost Guerrero, bro. You're going backwards, man. You can't improve your skill set by facing Robert Guerrero. Let's keep it moving. Rick Glaser also put out a tweet. Hearing PBC is attempting to get the Errol Spence cash-out retirement fight, a.k.a. Crawford Spence rematch, as Amazon Prime's first boxing event. Unless Tank Davis comes to his senses financially, then Tank will be the first PBC Amazon event. I can't see Tank coming to his senses, so to speak, he was trying to get at. Well, the way I look at it is that whoever, whether it's Tank, if he's fighting Isak Cruz, not so much. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely like to see him fight regardless. But of course, I want to see Terrence Crawford, as the first, fight to kick off this PBC and Amazon. Absolutely. You know where I stand on that. I absolutely want to see that fight. I want to see that rematch again, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that rematch. I want to see them step into the ring to jumpstart and have everybody in attendance. Oh, man. I definitely want to see that fight. I definitely would like to see that fight. Real talk. After all the hoopla that was going around back and forth with Davis and, Haney's team, I wonder what's the date on that stack of documentation that Ryan Garcia sent over there to Devin. I wonder what the date is, because I'm almost stand on it. I'm almost sure that the date that Ryan Garcia sent that paperwork over to Team Haney is basically during that, verbal sparring and rockets that was going on over here. That paperwork was already over there. I'm standing on that because all of a sudden it hits a high point, right? It hits a high point. Everybody's going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Insults, trash talking and all this shit. And then it comes out and Ryan Garcia, hey, I want to fight Devin Haney. That's who I want to fight. I want to see the date on that paperwork there, Ryan. I guarantee he sent that paperwork over there way before. Or doing this shit that was going back and forth between Haney and Davis. To the point where it was already over there. They already was aware. You know what I'm saying? And then for Ryan to get Haney to co-sign, cool. You get him to co-sign. But is the fight gonna happen? Can y'all supersede the numbers if you do fight than what Garcia did with Tank? Because if you can't, Garcia, if you can't match the dance partner, that means you're gonna have to question, are you really that superstar if you cannot bring in close to that? Like if you can't break 300K, which I believe they will. I do. I believe Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney will break 300K. I do. I believe it's gonna happen. The positive part of it. The other part of it, outside of the fight being signed, is will this be a very exciting electric bout between these two, or will it be a snoozer? Not the fact that anybody getting knocked out, or that the fact the crowd was disinterested. I'm hoping for it to be exciting because we need something to happen. You know what I'm saying, at the 140-pound division besides Teofimo Lopez and Subriel Matias. We need something special to happen outside of those two. So if this is going to happen, because I'm not buying that Regis fight. He did nothing. Disappointment. Got the check. So I need something else over there at the WBC. For real. I need something else. And I know boxing might surprise y'all with something dealing with the WBA or something like that. I don't know how they would do that. But ain't shit going on with the WBA, really. We need to, try to tie that down too. But he said, I've advised my team to contact Team Haney to discuss and make the fight happen between Devin and I. The ball is in your court. Devin, I made my move, and I'm showing you and the box that I'm committed to this fight. Hashtag Garcia Haney. Check this out. I stand on what I say. I want to see the date on that paperwork. I want to see the day that you sent that over there. You know what I'm saying? It'll be easy because I'm pretty sure y'all did communication via online, private messaging. Yes, for real. You want to build it up like, okay, it's all about tank. But then it's all about having paperwork with Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So once again, a diversion that goes on with a fighter saying he want to fight another fighter, and then all along he fighting somebody totally different. All the freaking time. Mr. International Toby Bartlett is in the building. Salute WCS and the number one hottest chat in the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. Salute to the Saudis for making this card possible. Indeed, you already know. Salute to them. What a showcase this weekend. Arnold Brown on deck. I see you, man. What's good with it? So, and Devin responded, these are facts. So it's good that they're fact. And it's good. If I'm comparing this, Boots Ennis to Robert Guerrero, Garcia Haney, definitely we want to see, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Period. It's not even close. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Pluto, Earth. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about just, that North Star being able to reach up and touch it. That's how much this is when you're comparing these two fights. Yeah, we will watch Garcia Haney instead of freaking Ennis and Guerrero. Come on, man. We can't be serious. What the hell is going on over there, man? I hope this is just a farce, gibberish information that's made its way out to the waterways of the YTC, and it's just sitting. It's just standing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just floating around in the trash and debris, the oil, all that shit, man. Just dirty, filthy trash. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hope this was at, when people just reach down there and say, "Oh shoot, look at this piece of paper. It looks a little different. It's in a sandwich bag. I think I'm gonna open it." It reminds me of one of those time capsules I dug up just the other day. Let me break open this sandwich bag. What did it say? What does it say? It's nice and dry too. Ennis Guerrero, possible 2024 thoughts. Wow, they actually thought they was on to something, and it's probably somebody, if this modern era just goddamn zipped that motherfucker in there, bored as hell, been drinking, just out there, enjoying the sunshine, shadow boxing and shit, and say, "Oh, let me play a prank," because them YTC freaking channels, they be wanting any information possible. Let me throw this out here in the waterway, put it right there in the corner, it ain't going nowhere, and hopefully somebody pick it up and read it. I hope this Ennis Guerrero shit is not true, because what do you look to gain off of Guerrero? He's tailor-made. Stand right in front of you so you can beat him up. What do you have? Come on, man. Come on, bro. I can't tell you to fight Crawford, because Crawford's on a whole nother level than the Ghost Guerrero. You know what I'm saying? I can't. He don't feel that you're a ticket seller. I get it, but you gotta find somebody that's better than Guerrero. Real talk, way better than Guerrero, man. Come on. He comes in here and beat Berto, and that's where we at with it. No, that's not cool. And if y'all haven't been paying attention, Rick Glaser put out a tweet today that it pretty much turns out the family member Jamal Charlo beat on and was arrested for was his wife. You see, Amazon will ban Charlo. Okay. Also, I believe he put out a tweet today that, was pretty much highlighting whether, PBC will permit Jamel Charlo to continue his career under the new banner, Amazon Prime PBC. I'm curious to know how that's going to play out. Why? Because Al Heyman has had fighters under his charge who's a part of domestic violence. He has. This is no different. But they're under a different regime of leadership. So it's not like they can't make an example out of Jamel Charlo. They can absolutely make an example out of him. It'll be nothing he can say about it. They make example out of Hollywood all the time. They make examples out of other athletes all the time. But I'm wondering, being that there's been big names, just like Shaw News mentioned earlier about Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather being assets. They was money makers, assets. So they probably looked at them through a different lens. You know what I'm saying? And said, "Yo, let me clean this up a little bit and help him out." You know what I'm saying? Right? As in Jamel Charlo, he is an ass on the set. You know what I'm saying? That's what Jamel Charlo is, an ass on the set. That's what that's who he is. You know what I'm saying? He's not an asset. He's an ass on the set. He's willing to give you some dumb shit, be fake about it, acting like he was tired of, getting in trouble and all that, fooling the people, lying to the people. And now there's audio and video out there of him in one of his worst moments after coming off a fight with Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo probably looking at that shit like, this is an idiot. I just gave you a payday, amigo. Like, what's wrong with you, man? You know, Jamel was on his best behavior around Charlo. Mr. Good Boy, nursery, chaperone. You know what I'm saying? He was acting on his best behavior. I wonder how much energy did it take for him to just basically pucker up to Canelo for a whole freaking fight week. How much energy? Did that take a lot of energy to the point where he wanted to take it out? I wanna talk about three bullet points, right? And then I'm going to capsulate it with something that Shanu said earlier, right? So I said, okay, what if when they was ringside and Crawford was talking shit to Jamel Charlo, and maybe he caught his girl smiling or smirking, or maybe even having a conversation with James Harden, you know, after he said, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm undisputed at 154. I already did what he did. I'm about to fight Canelo. Did he hear his wife sigh? Did he hear her do a nonchalant shrug of the shoulders? Did he see her rolling her eyes? Did he witness James Harden and her? You know how like James Harden loved rolling his eyes? Did he witness them at the same time rolling their eyes? Then two, I look at her experiencing what she experienced, what I just mentioned. And then two is her throwing hands in Vegas. She was on top of Maul Charlo's wife throwing hands, right? And, you know, for some guys, you know, that video did go viral and people was just talking and talking. And maybe, you know, it was some giggles at home behind closed doors where Jamel Charlo gave her a high five and said, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You're a down ass chick. I like that about you. I like that. That's what I'm talking about. Throw them hands, girl. Then it comes to the third bullet where we have the situation that just took place. Something went down. This is where it gets a bit intriguing for me when you're talking about screenwriters. You know what I'm saying? The plot thickens. What brought Mel Charlo to a point where him and his girl was in each other's company, and somehow, some way, Mel thought it would be cool just to punch her in the eye, right? Not only punch her in the eye, but punch her hard enough to potentially swell her eye up. Now, the damning part is that he was outside somewhere and somebody was recording, and he was talking to somebody that he knew, and he was explaining in a sinister, malicious way on how the process played out in his head. You know what I'm saying? Him believing that his girl was a tough girl until he punched her in her eye and she called the police on him like a regular woman would. You know what I'm saying? So that's 3 steps where it deals with his wife. All of them are different. You know what I'm saying? She's there standing with him and Crawford's disrespecting him, right? 2, she's sitting there going to blows. Boom, 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 boom. Beating up Maul's wife. You know what I'm saying? Going to blows, showing her dedication and love for her man. And then it gets to a point where we just seen the viral video release, and supposedly, allegedly, he's talking about punching her in the eye. Then the video of them two arguing in their domicile and, you know, mentions of infidelity, right? Mentions of infidelity. But Shaw News mentioned something that was groundbreaking in this particular situation. It was groundbreaking. And let me take this down. It was groundbreaking. And the groundbreaking part of is that he mentioned that his sources have basically been descriptive that okay, being that we wasn't there on site, this potentially could have been how it played out. Them going back and forth, trading negative energy with one another. And his wife said, why you didn't have that energy when Crawford called you a bitch ass nigga? Why why you didn't keep the same energy? Why you didn't have that type of energy when Crawford came at you? And that in itself may have been the trigger. Hair. I'm talking about hair trigger. Not just any trigger, hair trigger. You barely touch it. I think it might have been the reason why that trigger forced Jamel Charlo to emote on demand with the punch. That's per the sources that Sean used. And you know what? If he is talking about a source, I'm going to basically agree with that 1,000%. That his sources is probably correct. That why would he do that after coming off a freaking fight with Canelo? You know what I'm saying? Why? Why would he do this? It had to be someone whose name came up in their household that would get him to emote on demand and squeeze that hair trigger and punch her in the face. And the only person that you know, when the bell rung and it went off when he mentioned the sources, I said, God damn it, yeah, Crawford name coming up in there. You know what I'm saying? And he was right. A woman will do some shit like that, especially in the heat of the moment where you're trying to goddamn draw down on them. You trying to browbeat them. You know what I'm saying? Showing who's dominant. You know, it's not enough that you do it in the ring, but now you in the comfort and the privacy of your own home, and you got to show her who's running things over there, who's the king. So it's highly possible that she said, you didn't keep the same, why you didn't keep that same energy when Crawford calling you a bitch ass nigga? You know, you got all that energy for me. Why you didn't have it for him? And that might have been the trigger. That might have got him to a boiling point where he just imploded. He couldn't sustain himself. I don't know, but I'm not condoning this. I'm not making light of this. All I'm saying is, when it comes down to the action itself and what PBC may potentially do, I believe he should be reprimanded. You know, he never gets it. And then, you know, I even mentioned this earlier about how he said on camera how law enforcement knows him in Texas. You know what I'm saying? For somebody to put that out there, you're basically saying it's not just the fact that I don't have any remorse for what I did to her. The fact is, I'm telling you how I believe nothing's going to happen to me. And then I look at that, and then I see the damn mugshot come out, and they say this man got a misdemeanor. Seriously? A misdemeanor? He might know some people then. But I wouldn't have put that out like that, you know, all these cops know me in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Basically tell your girl that, you know what I'm saying, you in for a long road, uphill climb, if you think I'm worrying about going to jail and being convicted of something. And that's exactly when you wind up in jail. You know what I'm saying? When you underestimate the freaking balance of the scales of justice. You feel me? So we'll see how this play out. I don't want to take too much time on it. You know what I'm saying? But I think he should be punished. I know it sounds contradicting, but I'm only saying that because the audio is out there on how he explained himself, how they was in a domestic dispute, and what he said about law enforcement, and just a simple fact on how he was trying to gloat in expressing himself from committing an act of domestic violence, bro. This man could barely hit Canelo once, but he can land a punch on his wife. That's not even in the same weight class as Canelo, not even the same gender. This man gonna punch her in the eye. Coward. Coward, bro. Real talk, coward. Real talk. That's coward ass shit right there. Now, back to this weekend. Listen, like I told you before, there's a lot of predictions that's out here or predetermined bouts that are scheduled. We're not going to brush over the top two names that's out there, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Okay, do I believe that this fight is going to happen? Man, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Anthony Joshua came to the open workouts and didn't do shit. I can't tell you what to think about this guy. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't tell you what to think about this guy, man. This dude, ego is bigger than the Grand Canyon, bro. You know what I'm saying? If they got one in the UK, the British Canyon, his shit is bigger than that motherfucker. Joshua at this point knows that his performances have been mediocre, but yet his ego, he's going to try to walk around with his chest out and say, I get to do what I want. And I can understand where he at with it. You know, he's made pretty good money in his career. Right now, he just want to fight who he want to fight. He don't want to fight Deontay Wilder. He's basically always, I used to clown and roast Joseph Parker not Joseph Parker, Anthony Joshua back in the day. When every time he talked, he always giving you the number system. One, if I fight this way and I do this, I can win the fight. Two, you know, he always itemized his expressions, right? So he attempted to do the same when asked about him fighting Deontay Wilder. He kept mentioning TikTok. You know, on TikTok, how they put, you know, if they was to give a poll, would you want to fight for IBF heavyweight championship or would you want to fight Wilder? Which one would you choose? And I said, well, in this case, you're going to get paid either way, Joshua. You already held the IBF title. You're going to get paid either way. But if you want to talk about fighting a former world champion like yourself, like you did with Alexander Usyk and so many fighters, right? If you want to finally close the book on this fight, you know, why aren't you inclined to just say, I go ahead and fight Wilder? Why did he despise Wilder so bad? Like, I don't think it's more so hate, because the only thing they had going on back then was just banter between one another, trash talk, and they both was undefeated and champions. I mean, he didn't go over there and do anything or take one of Joshua's girls. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do anything so slimy. It's just Joshua always felt some type of way about Wilder. But now, when you see this presser kicking off in Riyadh, I say the one, to me, that's really showed a different side to himself when it comes to understanding who he is as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? How important he is in the sport of boxing, especially in the heavyweight in the heavyweight division. What he's been able to accomplish up to this point, and seeing, you know, more people praise him and looking forward to this fight between him and Joseph Parker. Would I say it's respect? Yeah, he's getting more respect now. You know what I'm saying? But himself, he's going around there, man, like he always do, you know, basically catering to the people, you know, giving them a bomb squad. He's one of the most lively, genuine people over there that's keeping the pressers going, in my opinion. He was talking shit to Joseph Parker, who's really not a trash talker, but he was saying he was Dr. Sleep. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty much saying, you know, he has NyQuil in his right hand. You know, he also suggested that Joseph Parker bring a pillow. And the guy said, what do you think about Wilder saying you should bring a pillow? And then Joseph got all upset and irritated. Don't ask me no stupid questions. You know what I'm saying? You want me to answer a dumb question like that? But it's just the point he was making some light. He was talking his trash. And it wasn't over the top. Because back in the day, you know, Deontay Wilder's energy used to be over the top when it came to fight week. Now he's more calculated. You know what I'm saying? He says Dr. Sleep. Talking about NyQuil compares. You know what I'm saying? It's all smooth and blended in to saying he's going to knock Joseph Parker out. You know what I'm saying? And of course, people want to see that fight. But I'm not sure if we're gonna ever get Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua straight up. And I don't believe that out of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, if it's based off a win, one of them gonna take a L. I believe it wholeheartedly. I think one of these guys are gonna take a L. If you know what I mean. I think one of these guys are gonna take a L this weekend. Jarrell Miller, Daniel Dubois, that's gonna be a fight to pick. I don't see it going the distance. Jarrell Miller's still undefeated. I don't know if people thought they basically gave him 2 losses for popping dirty. No. Jarrell Miller's still undefeated. His last freaking fight was a stoppage of Lucas Brown. All right? All I'm saying is, if Daniel Dubois is going to come in here and say that, I'm gonna treat you like my daddy. Every baby has a daddy or something. I'm gonna be your daddy this weekend. You're gonna have to find a way to touch Jarrell Miller on the chin and prove that he's not who he say he is. And I haven't seen that from Dubois. You know what I'm saying? He drops Oleksandr Usyk, and then he gets drops himself, right? I know previously when Jarrell stepped in the ring, he had awesome cardio, but I don't know if he was on the chemicals. I don't know if he was, to the gills. I don't know, but he had great cardio, right? For Dubois to go in there and so-called knock him out, as he call it, he just have to land the right shot, man. I guarantee you, if Jarrell Miller doesn't give him any type of reaction that he's looking for, like he's not able to hurt him, because that's a big boy. I've seen Jarrell Miller several times in person. He's a big dude. Jarrell Miller is a big dude, man, compared to Daniel Dubois. What if he's leaning on him and shit? This is a former kickboxer now. What if he uses everything to his advantage, that his weight, his experience, all that? What if he uses his experience on Dubois? He's going to be in trouble, bro. He's going to be in trouble. This is one of the other fights that I believe will not go the distance. I don't believe Daniel Dubois and Jarrell Miller will go the distance this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. And to be honest with you, I got Jarrell Miller winning that fight. You know what I'm saying? I just got Jarrell Miller winning that fight. He better be in shape. You know what I'm saying? And Dubois, the losses, if you take a look at his losses and zoom in how he didn't move out of the way of the jab of Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. Eyes swelled up, stop. And then, of course, him having a highlight moment with Usyk, and then turn around and gas the fuck out and want to complain about the stoppage. Okay. Go in here and make a statement against Jarrell Miller. I'm not sure you can do it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure that you can do it. I'm not sure. Real talk. Makhmudov, I've seen this guy, believe it or not. I've shot 2 of his fights already. I kind of grown to like Mudov, man. Real talk. He's going in there against Caballero, which both of these fighters are undefeated, man. And they have a high knockout percentage. Mudov is sitting at 94.44%, man. And Caballero is at 65.2%. But if you look at Caballero last couple of fights, they've been TKO victories. You know what I'm saying? So both of them he has more fights than Mudov, but I'm gonna be honest, he has better people on his resume. It's gonna be interesting because Mudov can be very, very wild. That's a big boy. I ain't gonna lie. Mudoff is a big boy. You know what I'm saying? 6'5.5", every bit of 6'5.5". And he swings wild sometime. He's there to be hit. I've seen him be hit, and he didn't go anywhere. I was right there ringside. He got hit, and he didn't go anywhere, bro. But his opponent wasn't Caballel either. It wasn't Caballel. They wasn't a caliber of opponent than Caballel. This right here is going to be an interesting fight. And I do believe that potentially Mudoff may experience his first loss. I don't know, what the cardio is of Caballel, but his last fight was March of this year. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Mudoff, his last fight was October 23rd. So he's been active. He's had 2 fights already in 23, and this will be his 3rd fight. It's going to be an interesting bout because this dude is big. He uses his size. He does have some shit to work on, man. He can be wild, and he can land them haymakers on your ass. It's just all about, can Caballel stand it? You know what I'm saying? Because this is a big dude. This is a big dude for sure. And then I think another sleeper that may not go the distance, man, is Filip Hrgovic. You know what I'm saying? I it's something about this fight. I don't know if it's going the distance. You know what I'm saying? El Animal. I don't know if this is going to go the distance because I know Mark Demori has more experience, but he's 41 years old. So if you're out there a betting man, this fight ain't going the motherfucking distance. I just think Filip ain't going to let this shit. It'll be an insult to Filip Hrgovic for this to go the distance. And also you have to weigh in that Mori, in his last like 10 fights, he's only had 1 10-rounder. You know what I'm saying? He only had 1 10-rounder in his last fights that he's won since his loss back in January 2016, and that was a TKO stoppage to David Haye. All right. Then that's his most recent loss, all the way up to this fight right here. You know what I'm saying? He has 2 losses, 2 stoppages. So that's what I'm telling you. Filip Hrgovic, who he is, this fight ain't going the distance. This fight may be a first-round stoppage. I'm just being honest. This fight may be a first-round stoppage. David Haye stopped him in the first round, and John Wyborn stopped him in the first round. And I almost guarantee you Filip Hrgovic is going to stop this man in the first freaking round. I don't know about you. I'm just saying. I'm putting my shit. I think he's going to stop this man in the first round. Real talk. That's what I think. Frank Sanchez and Junior Fa, that's going to be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I think potentially it may go the distance. I like it. But, you know what I'm saying? And Dimitri Bivol and Lennon Arthur, that's hard to tell, man. I think that's going to go the distance potentially. You know, Arthur 23-1 and Dimitri Bivol 21-0. I think this fight is going to go the distance. You know, I don't think Anthony Joshua Valine is going to go the distance. I don't think Wilder Parker is going to go the distance. Hrgovic and Demori, I don't think that's going to go the distance. And Daniel Dubois and Jarrell Miller, don't think that's going the distance. Now, Mudoff and Caballel, it all depends. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to tie up and don't be out there distance with that big mug. You know, that MF, because he will load up on them them pieces of plywood and crack you upside the head with that shit. You know, I seen it up close and personal. That dude is not afraid to goddamn get busy. But I have seen him get caught up close. I have seen him get caught. All you need is somebody with some decent timing you can get your timing down on this guy because he can get wild. If you get your timing and you can land that shot, it may change the flow. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, but incredible card, man. Incredible showcase. I ain't gonna lie. Incredible showcase, bro. Eddie said earlier Devin is going to be in Saudi Arabia for the day of reckoning, and Devin has said before he wants to fight in Saudi, so maybe he would see Devin Ryan or Devin Tank in Saudi. Hey, I'm cool with that, Toby. Appreciate the info. Mr. International on deck dropping the transmission. You know what I'm saying? I like that. All these fighters who's going over to Saudi to fight for these banks, fight for this money, regardless of my criticism of Haney and Garcia, I definitely like when these fighters going over there to Saudi to make the money. Why not, man? Make this money. If they handing out freaking Brinks trucks, no miles on them, but the back is full, the truck is full of money, and you get to drive it to your location and just leave the key in there and they'll come pick it up. Why not? Go to Saudi and fight for that dollar bill. Why not, bro? Why not? I'm cool with all that. Shout out to Samuel, man. Salute WCS Jamel Charlo in the news for the wrong reasons. Remember I said this could jeopardize his career. No room for woman beaters in the sport. I agree, bro. I agree. But I can't be a hypocrite and say I haven't mentioned that there will always be domestic violence in boxing. I've seen it. I've seen people go down for domestic violence, and really it's been minimal punishment, bro. But you make a very solid point. You know what I'm saying? There's no room for it. You make a valid point. But what I'm saying is it's been repeated situations and incidents in boxing that involve fighters getting into it with their spouses. And they wasn't punished by the promotion. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't punished by the promotion. Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, a.k.a. Showtime, Shaw on deck. What's good? My sources said. For real, I believe his sources, man. He's the first one to break that news that potentially, you know what I'm saying, Jamel's, wife allegedly told that man, hey, you didn't have that same energy when Crawford was calling you a bitch ass nigga. And that probably took him over the top. You know what I'm saying? Smoke was probably goddamn fuming out both of his nostrils. They say that dude was goddamn turning a little bit green and starting to turn into the Texas Godzilla. He was hot. How dare you mention him in my home? I pay the bills around here. He lost it. So, I believe Shaw News sources when that went down the way it did. You know what I'm saying? And potentially that might have been the phrase that just ignited and took him over the top. And he had to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? That audio may not have been all the audio. You know what I'm saying? He might have had some audio on there about, I bet she won't say that shit again. You know what I'm saying? She thought she was a tough girl and this, that, and the other, but she really wasn't tough. That sounds like some shit that she probably said, hey, you weren't keeping that energy when Crawford called you a bitch ass nigga. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to True Media Boxing Radio on deck. What's good with it, coach? Rock on deck. I hope they give Charlo 100 years in prison. They're not going to give him 100 years for a misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? To me and you, the severity of it seems very, very harsh, right? But when you see the word misdemeanor, you say to yourself, like, a misdemeanor don't match the audio of how he was expressing himself. You know what I'm saying? In a maniacal type way. You know what I'm saying? That was a maniacal type way and how he was explaining that shit to basically let people know how he felt about what he done and why he did it, why he felt the need to inflict that type of violence on his spouse. The way he was explaining, you know, and it was sinister, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was extremely sinister the way he said, let me change your mind. Let me change your mind, man. Let me change your mind. Because, see, something else that went on before that, some other type of conversation where his boy was trying to goddamn tell her, hey, man, she tough to put up with your bullshit. That's a tough woman right there, man. Why you keep fucking her over, dog? Damn, that's a tough girl. She's down for you, bro. Now, let me change your mind. Let me change your mind why she ain't shit. Let me change your mind why she ain't shit. Let me change your mind. See, the audio that's probably wasn't played initially was the fact that Crawford's name might have been potential allegedly when she said you wouldn't keep the same energy when he called you a bitch ass nigga. I think that may have just tilted the pot. And then that lava started to overflow and it was on from there. Is Charlo acting like he's above the law in Texas? Pretty much if you name drop, you know what I'm saying, that law enforcement know who he is, of course they know who you are. Maybe he did not like being asked why he did not keep the same energy with Crawford and Canelo in the ring. Who knows, man? But that would piss any man off. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a fit of rage. It would absolutely piss a man off. Especially if he's been hearing all the criticism of him in his track and field debut at 168 pounds. Of course. The Olympics not till next year. You know what I'm saying? And here we go. We already seeing dual sport athletes like Jermell Charlo, who's a boxer / 100, 200, 400 meter sprinter. And we can even say 800 meters. He's a dual sport athlete, a world champion in boxing, and will probably medal heavy next year in the Olympics. Real talk, he probably medal heavy. Jameson on deck, what's good? Salute to you, brother. Carlos Rosado is in the building. What's good with it? W says salute. Hottest chat in the MF and game. Salute. Salute to you, man. If Joshua loses, will you still be interested in the Wilder fight? To answer your question, that'll be an absolute completely no. I don't have any interest in that if he loses to Otto Wallin. Why? Deontay Wilder, like I said years ago, and I say it now. I don't believe Anthony Joshua gets out of 3 rounds with Deontay. I don't think Joshua makes it out of the 3rd round with Deontay. And I'm being generous with that. I'm being generous because one thing we know, Deontay's been in there with the top heavyweight in the game. Both of them has been on the canvas, right? Joshua's been on the canvas with a fighter who was damn near retired. You know what I'm saying? And he's been on the canvas against Andy Ruiz, a much shorter fighter. You know? So what do you think Wilder's going to do? And Wilder's going to damn near decapitate him, bro. You know what I'm saying? If he loses to Otto Wallin, nobody's going to want to see him. Because Joshua, he's been acting weird lately. He loses to Otto Wallin, man, security, they need to stay close. Because Joshua's going to get out the ring with his gloves still on and start goddamn beating up the patrons just watching. They have history. I still want to see it. But I can understand losing his luster to AJ. That's all I'm saying. I think the luster has, it's starting to build back up. Now, we go into the 23rd. If he goes in there and win, then Deontay wins too. I mean, I'm telling you, the luster is going to be right there, snap, pop. Then we're going to have to see what's the language like. Is Eddie Hearns bullshitting us or what? You know what I'm saying? Because they already ran the bullshit flag on us once. You remember, right? Bullshit me once, shame on me. They already bullshitted us once. You know why? Because Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua was said to have supposedly happened this month, right? He was going to have 2 fights. He wanted to then fought Jermaine Franklin. He looked okay. He wanted to get a fight in between time. And then he fights Deontay Wilder's common opponent and goes into the 7th round and knocks him out, right? But that was supposed to be Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. You fooled us. Eddie Hearn was on some bullshit. He fooled us again. I said at least 5 to 8 fights in KOs. No doubt. I'm saying 5. I'm saying 5. You know what I'm saying? Especially that Philippe Hrgovic fight. It's no way. It's no way. That shit's getting cleaned out quick. You know what I'm saying? Joshua, Deontay Wilder. I'm telling you. I don't think now it's a potential to both of those fights. I mean, not both. Anthony Joshua and Otto Wallin to go the distance. It's a good possibility. But like I said before, if Otto Wallin goes in there and gets stopped in under 7 rounds, it was fixed. The reason why I'm saying that is that this man haven't lost since Fury. He hasn't lost. This man has not lost since he fought Fury. He has all the tools to go in there and beat Anthony Joshua. All the tools. Otto Wallin is not a Robert Helenius. So you just think about that. Martin King Boxing in the building. What's good with it? Salute to you, brother. AJ Better Win W says, I sent you a Cash App. Don't say the name, please. When have I ever said names? I'm just curious to how long I actually been doing this right here. You know what I'm saying? How long have I been doing this for real? Let me get it because I don't even have my phone over here. Hold on for a second. All right, next comment. Let's see. Shout out to Ron, Martin King Boxing, for the $5 super chat, aka Cash App on deck. Appreciate you, brother. One love. Appreciate the dang donation to the channel. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? People up here donating to the channel during holidays. I know you got people that they ain't spend your money on. I appreciate the support, man. Y'all make sure y'all go over there and support Shaw News, man. You know what I'm saying? I seen the first 2 members, you know, Mr. Gumbo, aka Hot Grease, and freaking Martin King Boxing. Go over there and support, man. You know, become members of his channel. Real talk. Salute to them cats for them becoming members. Seriously. But thanks for the super chat. The Martin King Boxing in the building. AJ Better Win. All Wilder has to do is clip AJ, and AJ Hart is took because if Wilder connects with a solid punch, Joshua will be sent to the upper room. Yeah, I'm gonna be right there, and you know, for an escort too. For real, I'm gonna be right there. I'm saying, yes, you're in the right direction. Come on. You need help? Hold on. Just hold on tight. Hold on tight. Can somebody else get on the other side so we can help him? Yeah. You're okay. Once we get there, we're gonna put some nice white linen on you, okay? And we're gonna treat those wounds. And we're gonna realign your jaw. It's basically crooked right now. We're gonna put it back in place. You know what I'm saying? You're in the upper room now, so we don't need no anesthesia, okay? We got you, okay? We've been doing this a lot. We almost got Fury, but Fury woke the fuck up. Thanks to Jack Reese. But we almost had him on our wall. Okay. Oh, not to mention, we want to take some photos with you just to, give a little history of who's been to the upper room before. Okay. I'm gonna help Joshua get to the upper room for real. I'm gonna say, hey Jay, man, you know how long I've been thinking about this moment? How you been, man? Dang, you procrastinated so long and then you couldn't get out of the way of that right hand. So many people talked about it, bro. And you still let him crack you in the jaw, man. Damn. Hey, I get up to the upper room and say, wow. I never knew they had a hallway full of pictures of fighters. Oh, Manny Pacquiao. Oh, shit, Dominique Brazil. Wow. Lennox Lewis. Unbelievable. Crazy. I did not know. They already got the picture up here. Chris Colbert? Unbelievable. You all are fast. Who's your PR people? You all are fast. You already have Chris Colbert up here. Unbelievable. Jamel Charlo, boxer sprinter, an Olympic medal. Hey man, I'm talking about. Hey man, the way he was going on, man, dude, he's medaling next year for real, and it ain't gonna be in boxing. For real, he's not sprinting. I'm serious, man. We sleeping on AJ. Dude, are you serious? We're sleeping on AJ? AJ have not shown any improvement. Like he's levitating. Like he understands who he's been in. Because his resume is respectable. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how he did it, but his resume is respectful for a manufactured freaking boxer. He's been in there with some big names. But at this point in time, since he's been incapable of regaining his titles, it just seems like his mental blade has been dull a bit. You know what I'm saying? He's going around here lacking the sanity that we used to seeing AJ back in the day. And you're going to need all that sanity stepping in there with a freaking right hand munitions expert as Deontay Wilder. He's definitely going to need that shit. Wallin can catch AJ with the over-the-top punch. True W says, I think AJ's prepared. I don't know, man. Like I said, if Otto Wallin goes out before 7th round, it's predetermined. He got the orders. If Wallin goes in there and drop AJ, right, in the first 2 to 3 rounds, AJ's in trouble. Because that means all that damn Deontay Wilder AJ talk, Wallin, he ain't on that type of time. He has to go in there and show that he wants to fight. We can't see this bullshit like Regis Prograis and we thinking, it's gonna be somebody going in there throwing hands. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go in there and get a fight. And usually in the heavyweight division, you can do that. It's hard to go in there and do what Shakur did to Edwin De Los Santos. It's difficult. Like it's hard just to do that many feints. It's hard to keep distance and just move around. It's just difficult for the heavyweights to do that. It's just, The heavyweights gotta at one point in time get down to it. They have to link up. They have to link up, man. AJ whole British accent be gone. He gonna turn full Nigerian after a while. Hey man, like I said, I'm gonna help that dude up to the upper room. And real talk, I'm gonna be conducting interviews up there too, for real. I already done made some phone calls. I said, hey, what do I need to conduct some interviews in the upper room? I'm gonna escort AJ up there and some other fighters. You know, possibly Daniel Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Maury. And yeah, I want to freaking escort some of the fighters up there and just do a post-fight interview with them and ask them, hey, explain to us in what you remember, just based off what you remember. If what you remember was before the punch landed, take us through it. What did you see initially? What did you see? I mean, and to be honest, friend, to be honest, all I heard was Bomb Squad. Hold up. That wasn't before the shot. I think. No, I think that was a reflection. I heard Deontay. You know what I'm saying, on fight week. I just played out in my mind. You know, I seen him throw a punch, and he was saying Bomb Squad at the same time, and that's all I remember. I said, oh, that's good enough. That's good enough. That's gonna do some views right there. That's gonna do some views. Real talk. Thank you. I appreciate that, AJ. So we have HBO 24/7 All Access and more. Well, check this out. You have to understand that Riyadh, Saudi Arabia is operating off a different format. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about asking yourself the question, do they have a budget to do this over here? Yeah. Will they? No. Do they make up for that with the promo or the fight card, along with, you know, somewhat like Triller-esque concert and boxing showcase? Yes. That's where most of their money at. So you're not going to get the all access coming out of Riyadh. You're going to get music. You're going to get superstar freaking artist. You know, you're going to get that type of budget for those people who was able to go over there and witness the fight. You're going to get that type of freaking budget, man. Yeah, man, it's going to be crazy, bro. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you one thing, W says, betting odds have to be crazy. Yep. I want Johnny Rice over there. He's decent. He's blend in. Yeah, I'm surprised Johnny Rice is not even on one of the opponents on this card. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. He the one-handed. Look, let me get it straight before I say it. Look, he handed Guido his first loss January this year. You know what I'm saying? He handed him his first loss January this year. And he hasn't even been back in the ring since then. Why? Why? I don't get it. You gave Guido his first loss. He was 10-0-1. And you was able to rebound and give him a nice little cut, and you haven't been back in the ring since, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. He sound like Eddie Murphy's trading places in the training scene. I'm different when it comes to sports. I want AJ to get a KO for the excitement of Wilder versus him, but I want Dubois to beat Miller like he stole something. I don't like Dubois, man. He's not an entertaining fighter to me. I've met Jarrell. Look, one of the biggest reasons, like I said, those of us who go to fights, you get to meet these fighters. And one thing I respect about Jarrell Miller, also what he said with Radio Raheem, is the fact that, you know, yeah, he tested positive, and he told me straight up to my face, he fucked up. He did. I respected that as a man to man. He said he fucked up. He said I could have dropped a dime on plenty other fighters, but I didn't. He manned up about it. And now this man is the life of the party over there. He's been roasting damn near everybody, from the promoters to the fighters. You know what I'm saying? and even him and Derek Chisora had a nice interview. Derek Chisora was working with IFL, and they had, and you know Derek Chisora don't freaking play around, and they was having a freaking cordial, conversation between one another. But no, I'm going for Jarrell Miller in this fight, bro. Forget Dubois. Dubois, man, come on, man. The man finally, wanted to use some freaking jokes. No, man. I'm curious to know for 10 rounds, does Jarrell Miller still got the cardio? Because it's not like Dubois is just workhorse. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's just workhorse. So I'm looking at the fight being entertaining. I like it though. Frank Warren tells Dubois corner to get his head in the game, and Dubois goes to work once again. I'm hoping. Okay, you going for Dubois? I don't know. I don't know what people see in Dubois, man. Dubois, Dubois. I don't see what I hope Jarrell Miller go in there and teach him a lesson. For real, that's what I'm hoping out of that shit. I'm hoping Otto Valene goes in there and don't lay down. That's all. Because I truly believe Otto Valene can beat Joshua. All he has to do is take him to the mid to late rounds, and he's good. I believe Otto Valene can outbox Wilder. Real talk. I mean, Joshua. I do believe it. And for Wilder, I definitely believe he can stop Joseph Parker. No point, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I believe that Wilder can absolutely spark out Joseph Parker. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He has the height and reach, and he absolutely has the power. He has those advantages that's all you need. Now, for Joseph Parker, he can box. You know what I'm saying? He is legitimate. He ain't no bum. He ain't no tomato can. But when it comes to, what Wilder has learned at this stage of his career, what he's possessed his entire career, I do see him landing that shot on Joseph Parker. You're not going to be able to avoid that shot forever and a day. I know Joseph Parker is going in here, and one thing I've said on my live previously when he fought Anthony Joshua, is that Joseph Parker survived. Right? He survived. I hope he doesn't go in here just to survive and really not willing, he's not willing to engage Wilder. Now, he can box, but let's see how it plays out for him, because he knows that if he get too close and he get caught with that power punch, it's going to be goddamn night-night. It's going to be the land of Nod. You're going to have the serenade of angels coming in and holding those candles. And that's when you're going to see me in an all-white, me and whoever else is on the other side, an all-white suit, and we're going to escort you to the upper room. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. And before I leave to return back, I'm going to take a selfie. Oh, my God, I'm going to take a selfie. Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease, is in the building. What's good with it, Gumbo? AJ and Parker for the win. Gumbo comes in here. What's that word I'm looking for? That hating. Why the brothers hating? You're going for AJ. How dare you? He's going for AJ and Parker. He's going for AJ and Parker. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, wager something on that, Gumbo, please let me know. I will absolutely entertain you on that. Just text me. You know what I'm saying? If you wanna put some wager on that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Knockout Mania. And 4 to 5 of these fights, in my opinion, I'm not saying I'm absolutely right, but they're not going the distance. You know what I'm saying? They're not going the distance. And for Wilder, Miller, Wallin, Hrgovic, Sanchez, Bivol. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey. The jury's still deliberating on Makhmudov and Kabayel. Still deliberating. You know what I'm saying? And still, we got 2 undefeated fights. You know, Opataya and Zorro. I might have shredded his name, but they're both undefeated, man. I'm still doing research on them. Still doing research. Real talk. A great card. Great card. Great card. But y'all hold it down, man. Continue to support the channel. Thanks again, Martin King Boxing, for the $5 super chat on deck in the building. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease, for the donation. I appreciate the ones who support the channel by showing their face in the hottest chat in the MF'd game. Till next time, man, y'all hold it down. Peace. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Hey, what you gotta say there, champ? Yeah, man. Much love, Black. Hey, Deontay, what you gotta say? What you gotta say? To this day! To this day!